Hey, it got a little bit cooler. It's 1:50 in the afternoon, and I'm able to sit here in my closed-up room without dying for this short video. But it's important because when any of our group contacts me and asks me to talk about something specifically, like I've gotten a couple of requests recently that I want to address. The first is talking about anxiety and stress. How do you deal with anxiety and stress? Well, $1 million question, right? All of us have been in this situation at one time or another. Now, let me distinguish first. Anxiety and stress are two different things, okay? Anxiety comes from the fear of the unknown. It's a fear. Okay? But it's a nagging, persistent, can be nagging, persistent. Especially when you have a big responsibility, you got a big load to carry, you got a large financial, you got a family, and it costs a lot to support a family, doesn't it? Yes. So that's stress. But it's fear. Fear of the unknown. Well, let's change that a little bit. Let's put it different. Let's say, instead of unknown, let's get rid of the concept of unknown and unknowable. So now let's look at fear of the unknowable. I hope that puts anxiety in a little bit different perspective. You need to develop some kind of humor and laugh at yourself, because we, after all, are pretty funny creatures when all's said and done. So unknowable. The future is unknowable. So why worry about it? You'll get through. I spend more time developing you in putting your effort into finding your spirit guides. And then they're there to guide you when you look to them, and I'm here to help. But anxious. I never have an anxious moment in my life anymore. If you're in the moment, it was so easy to say and so tough to practice. You're hard pressed to be concerned with anything else, because there isn't anything else right now. I'm talking with you. That's it. So use that word unknowable. The future is unknowable, and be okay with that. And that will handle anxiety. Take some practice, but just look at yourself when you're being anxious, when you're suffering from anxiety. What happens if this, and this is the shoulda, coulda, wouldas again, the conditional tense. Anxiety sometimes comes from the past, because your behavior somehow influenced your present situation in your own mind. But the past is no more real than the future. And it's no more useful to dwell on the past, no matter. We have these beautiful little moments to go along with the tragedies and the hiccups and all the challenges. But both of them don't serve much purpose. The good times are the bad times. Times are times, good and bad, remember? Not dualism anymore, unity. Non-dualism. I think a better word to use than non-dualism. Oneness. Okay, so I want to put anxiety in context. Instead, just think of it's unknowable. And in a sense, the past is just as unknowable as the future, because what we know of the past is only what we know, what we made up, our story, which is probably no more closer to what happened than the man in the moon, okay? So anxiety is just a drain of energy. Let it go. There's the key. Just let it go. Me and Buffalo always laugh because that's our key word. Buffalo understands it. Buffalo's learned. Let it go. Don't hold on to it. Let it go. Worry, concern, dread, useless drains of your precious energy. And now let's talk about stress. Stress is usually caused from doing, as well as not doing. I didn't do my homework, so I'm stressed. I didn't get this customer, so I'm stressed. I did work really hard on this, but it didn't work out. This stress is self-generated. Again, it all comes back to us. There's no outside force that's putting stress on us. I feel no stress either. So I always got to look within. Okay? And that's the shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's the conditional tense. I would have done this, I would have done that. I could have closed that deal and I would have more money and I only had 2 kids instead of 3 or blah, 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 blah. Monkey talk, monkey mind. Do your meditation practice. Wellington, do your breathing exercises. So, anxiety is a fear. And stress in its own way is caused by a type of fear. The fear that if you don't do this, something will happen, or then there's a fear. Now that's the key. That's where we go back to work. Eliminate. Start facing your fears, first of all, and saying, okay. Self-analysis. But the goal is always to let go of fear. I live my life free of fear. So think about it. I'm not anxious. I don't have anxiety. I'm never stressed. I'm never in a hurry. That's the big key. Slow down. Take a breath. Smell the roses. Okay, so I know that's a superficial, but we're more on it. But you need to do this yourself too. I'm just saying, laugh about it. It's ridiculous. Your worries never come to fruition. If you take a look, I was worried, and you add it up in the end, and 99.9% of the time, your worries never came to fruition. It didn't happen. So all that spent energy, that time, that precious energy. Now I want to close this. Here we are at 8.5 minutes again. I want to close this with a little bit of update about what's going on with me. June 20th, I told you, was the third Buddha, the Trikaya, the third Buddha on the statue. And by the way, I'm looking for the 3 Buddha statue. Can't seem to find it. If anyone knows where I can find one, let me know. Where the 3 Buddhas sit together side by side. I'd like to have one. Still don't buy images of Buddha anymore. I've collected and given away more than my share. But each level, except the first level was realizing your Buddhahood, realizing the oneness, that unity. The death of the ego, surmounting your fears, facing and surmounting and eliminating fear, eliminate ego. This is the first level. But you're an infant Buddha, I talked before, and you have to take some years of getting used to being a Buddha, to growing up, to aging, to start to live the Dharma. This is the second Buddha. Be a living example of the Dharma, of the teachings. Okay? And then I had a big break, 5 or 6 years in between. This last one happened in June 20th. And I wanted to say that it's a whole new effort. I told you about the physical challenges, and I'm having challenges. I just found out that I had my first hamburger yesterday. And Buddha doesn't like meat. My Buddha doesn't like meat. Didn't sit well. It's a burger that comes from a good place. And my friend makes it, and it's fresh meat, and it's as good a burger as you can get. But it's a gourmet burger, okay? But Buddha didn't like it. Didn't taste good. Didn't feel right. Buddha likes chicken, though. Buddha in me says chicken. I survive on chicken. I eat a lot of chicken. No fish. But now red meat's gone. So I'm in the process of learning what now that I had to surrender my body. First I surrender my ego, and I surrender my fear, and then now I'm surrendering my body. It's Buddha's body. And some of you have talked about coming and seeing me, and I think upon reflection that it's not a good time. Let's wait until the pandemic calms down. Let's wait. Let's put on this physical visits into the little bit future. Give me time to make this adjustment to this third experience of the completion of my Trikaya, the three Buddhas. Give me some time. I've got work to do. And, Colene's kind of instinctive there, where she went off to Taipei just when she knows she needs her time to do her work, or that she knew that I needed my time to do my work. So let me be for a while. I need to be alone. I need to focus on what Buddha wants of me. My Buddha body requirements, okay? So, namaste, love to all.